Misha, 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 Niknas, Misha, 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 Niknas, Hadar, Marbim Besimcha. Misha, 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 Niknas, Misha, 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 Niknas, Hadar, Marbim Besimcha. Misha, Niknas, Niknas, Hadar, Hadar, Marbim Besimcha. Misha, Niknas, Niknas, Hadar, Hadar, Marbim Besimcha. Misha, 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 Niknas, Misha, 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 Niknas, Hadar, Marbim Besimcha. Misha, 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 Niknas, Misha, 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 Niknas, Hadar, Marbim Besimcha. Misha, 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 Niknas, Misha, 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 Niknas, Hadar, Marbim Besimcha. Misha, 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 Niknas, Misha, 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 Niknas, Hadar, Marbim Besimcha. Misha, Niknas, Niknas, Hadar, Hadar, Marbim Besimcha. Misha, Niknas, Niknas, Hadar, Hadar, Marbim Besimcha. Misha, 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 Niknas, Misha, 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 Niknas, Hadar, Marbim Besimcha. Misha, 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 Niknas, Misha, 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 Niknas, Hadar, Marbim Besimcha. Misha, 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 Niknas, Misha, 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 Niknas, Hadar, Marbim Besimcha. Misha, 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 Niknas, Misha, 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 Niknas, Hadar, Marbim Besimcha. That was one of my favorite Purim songs. When I was a little kid, I would just go Misha, 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 Misha. But I tried it.
You grew up with it too, though.
Yeah, you too?
In our Jewish day school, they used to, dance around with it.
Dance around to Misha and Utsu Etza, I'm sure too.
Sean, is it your first time doing this at a synagogue?
Yep.
Wow, you're like an old pro. Have you worked in churches before?
Yep.
So is
18
this
years in a Catholic church.
this is probably very different type of music, I guess.
But I love it. Absolutely.
And
We
now,
have-
I told him you're going to learn all this music and you can't use it until a year from now. Because it's all Purim stuff. It's like, don't think like, oh, now I got 10 tunes, I got it under my belt and ready for any service. It's like, no, once a year stuff.
So I have an announcement.
Is that not on?
We have, no, it's on.
It's on?
Oh, but
Okay.
maybe you had
you
the-
weren't by it. Okay, there you go.
Walter discovered a garage door opener. Does anyone missing? Does this look like anyone's garage door opener? It might not be. It might be for the preschool too. So
Oh, my.
if it's not claimed here, we'll give it over to LE3. And
Well-
luckily, these things are pretty easy to replace.
Oh, yeah? Well,
I'm afraid
Rabbi,
I'm going to open someone's garage.
you can just ride around all of Williamsville and Amherst
Yeah.
and just test it out. Rabbi, there was only 275 people here last night, so it's like,
Oh my God, you're right. It could have been from last night.
and forget about the preschool and everything. Somebody's going to have to really start
On the-
looking for it if they want.
On the order of things that keep me up at night, people falling in the parking lot, that's number one. And then lost items. I hate to think of people, we have things from the religious school. We have a lot of people coming in and out of this building, and some of these things are precious items. I hate
And
for
it's
that to-
upon us to find the owner.
Exactly. Yeah, there's actually rules. So if you can differentiate it, then we're supposed to put it out there for at least half a year. See if anyone can find it. So welcome to our much quieter service. We'll say Shabbat Shalom,
Shabbat Shalom.
and we can say Happy Purim.
Happy Purim.
Technically, Purim is ongoing until it gets dark in here. So we're right in between here. I think we can have a little frivolity. I have my grogger.
Well, I have a tiara.
we-
I'm always looking for an excuse to wear one now.
A tiara. Ooh, okay.
And I have my
Do they say tiara or tiara?
tiara.
I don't know. Maybe it could be either one. Yeah.
I'll wear a little one.
It's like one of those words you don't really think about until you say it.
For a day kind of thing.
Nice. Yeah. Do it.
You know, Candy, your magic wand is underneath this.
Yeah, I found it and I took it, so. Okay.
Last night, Cantor was holding her magic wand as she was getting ready to hula hoop, and I thought, well, maybe I should take that from her. But then I realized it was her yacht.
Yeah, it was my yacht.
So I literally was going to take it from you because I thought maybe you could focus on your hula hooping.
Then you take away the magic.
And that was the yacht. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very special to come here the day after Purim, after everything, just to really have a nice, relaxing service. At the beginning, they were going to give everyone groggers. We decided that's the little spinning noisemakers like this, and we decided it might be a little too noisy.
Are you mentioning the name of H name? Are you saying the H name tonight?
No, we're not
Okay,
gonna do that unless it comes up in one of your songs, maybe.
Oh yeah, he's in a lot of songs.
As you come in, just I want to point out a couple things before we get started, actually. There is the voting for the WZO, the World Zionist Congress, started. So you just have to go on here. You want to either click on number 3 or 16. 3 is the Reform Movement, 16 is the Reconstructionist one. And you can have a paper ballot here as well. It's just $5. They were having computer problems this week, because so many people were voting, and we're really trying to get out the word, apparently, in a lot of, especially ultra-Orthodox groups. Anyone over 18 that considers themselves Jewish can vote, or part of the Jewish community, so please go out. It's your civic duty every 5 years to be able to do that. All right, I was going to begin with a poem that Gloria Datuski gave to me the other day. She writes beautiful poems. She is the poet of Weinberg campus. Sadly, there's only 7 residents left at Weinberg.
They've moved everyone else out?
Everyone is out. There's seven residents at the Forest Creek side, and she is still the poet laureate of Weinberg. And luckily, after being there for about 12 years, she's still able to maintain her residence. But she wrote this. So you asked me if I was going to include the H name, and of course, that's in the poem here.
Well, should we get the groggers?
No, then you
All
won't
right.
hear the poem.
Doesn't feel Shabbat-like.
So this is from Gloria. If she comes later on with her son Sheldon, just let her know we read it in her honor. Haman the sinister prime minister. Oh my gosh. Haman the sinister prime minister. There is not a more sinister prime minister. People hate him and fear him. They do not want to go near him. They want to steer clear of him. They do not want to hear of him. If they dared, they would jeer at him. Never believe a word he will say any time of the night or the day. Everywhere he will go, he brings trouble, misery, and woe. To him all doors should close, never get into his throes. He is a devil of the very lowest level. From him keep your distance, give him your utmost resistance. He should never be in charge of a nation, don't invite him to any celebration. Always beware of Haman, the sinister prime minister. When we celebrate Purim Day, make certain that he is far, far away. It's very cute. All right, let's take a nice deep breath of Shabbat air, breathing in all the joys from this week, the beautiful weather, our Purim celebration, all the joys, and we'll breathe out all the oys. Get rid of all those oys. Ready? All right, Bruce, we're ready for you with a knock-knock joke, maybe. No, you used them all last night. Poor Bruce, asked her, and playing Haman was going after you.
That was very Haman-like, I've heard.
They were imbibing their Haman spirit.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome to really the Haman hangover. We have the nice little intimate group this evening, a much quieter get together than last night. And happy anniversary in a way. I don't know if you guys remember what happened 5 years ago this week, but that's when it happened. That's when COVID went from, hey, this thing could be affecting us, to, oh my goodness, look at how this thing is affecting us. That week was also Purim, and Monday night we had about 240 people in here for a Purim spiel, and Friday night, 5 people in here for services. Rabbi Cantor, Paul, Joanne, and myself. We're the only 5 people in the building, and it got smaller from there. So we were virtual for a long time, and eventually we were able to at least be on Zoom and be able to, be together that way. And then that summer we used our parking lot, and those high holidays we were at the Transit Drive-In for our high holiday services, which is something I'll never forget. And I'll tell you something, every time I'm here, every time we're together, I'm just so grateful, because there was a time we didn't know if we'd be together again, and we got through that, and I think we can get through whatever comes our way. And it is just wonderful that we can be together like this and enjoy our company, not via little Zoom screens, but we can see each other in person and share Shabbat with each other. And I will always treasure these times, because like I said, I didn't know if we were going to have them again. Anyway, it's good to be together, even if we're a little bit of an intimate group. But that's okay. There's just more hamantashen for us to eat at the Onig.
Yes.
Sherry Joe's already lining up. She's ready. I'll be back with announcements. Sad to say, there's a lot of announcements, because there's a lot going on, which is the good thing. And the rabbi said to me, listen, Bruce, you didn't have announcements last night. Take all the time you want tonight. Shabbat shalom.
Robin's not here to
Robin
steer.
Adler is not here, but Robin, are you really here? I expect alarms to go off.
All right, so we are going to, I think you already did the warm-up songs, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, so we're going to begin with Shalom Aleichem. We'll welcome the Angels of Shabbat, page 142. Just remember, it goes the opposite way. And we'll sing to those angels to help us relax after Purim. I had it upside down, just like I did the Megillah.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Shabbat, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech, Malachi Amalachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Borchem Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech, Malachi Hamalachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Barchoni Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech, Malachi Amalachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Seder Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech, Malachi Hamalachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu.
One of the things I love about Shalom Aleichem, in addition to my grandmother loved to sing it, is that here we're welcoming the angels, and we're also saying goodbye to them long before we actually have to say goodbye. So we're preparing ourselves actually for the end of Shabbat, when the angels are said to have to leave us. And it's a little like any kind of thing. When we have Purim, we've been working for months and months on it, and suddenly it's gone. And we're kind of adjusting to that. So we kind of have to prepare ourselves anytime there's something we're looking forward to also say goodbye to it. And what a beautiful practice that the rabbis included to help us know that, we can't have Shabbat forever. We have to kind of go back. So we're going to enjoy it right now, but we're also going to prepare ourselves for not having it. So we are ready for our candles and Kiddush. Page 120 will be the Friday night candles, and we're going to invite our couple from Wicked. This is the original couple that, if you remember from the play, Alice was cajoled, I think, into playing the father.
Bribed is more like the word.
It is a hard role because, like even in the movie Wicked, the father's role is actually complicated. We are, again, page 120. Oh no. And you're wearing green, so you are in the spirit of the Shabbat. And we'll bring in our Shabbat lights. It doesn't want to be very cooperative. It's playing practical jokes on him. May the candles light our way through Shabbat, and we're ready. Just you know exactly the routine now. I love that. Page 123, we have Kiddush. Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon inchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh bereshit, ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta v'otanu kidashta Hamim v'shabbat kodshecha b'yahava uvratzon hinchaltan. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-shabbat. L'chaim. Take a little drink. See, it fits right in there. Not green. But if you wear green glasses, everything looks green. That's what I found. Yesha Koach, thank you. And thanks for your performance, all of our many players last night. All right, I wrote this. I was just thinking all the things that could go wrong, and it seems like a Purim kind of poem. So it's called That's Life. Every day, a precious piece of art is stolen from a museum, a chandelier falls, a button pops off of an expensive coat. Every day, someone breaks a leg, scrapes a knee, tears a blouse, Every day a car spins out of control, a person breaks an engagement, a parent refuses to forgive their offspring. That's not only in my neck of the world. What about in yours, or the home of the stranger you'll never meet? Every day, and amazingly, life goes on. So, just a little reminder of exactly what kind of Purim is about. You'll have to ask me what kind of mood I was when I wrote that poem. All right. Whoop. Garage door. Escape from us like a guy. All right, we're going to turn to Lechado D on page 138 as we welcome in the Shabbat bride. And Barry is our newest, as you just joined us, Barry Krebs gets to be our Shabbat bride tonight. So what we'll do is we're going to sing the...
We're going to sing 1, 2, 3, and 9 as the composer wrote for it.
So 1, 2, 3, and 9. On the 9th verse we rise, we'll face the back. Imagining the bride entering, we'll bow to Shabbat as she enters, and then we welcome one another by waving at one another.
Shabbat lekuvenecha ki mekor beracha merosh megadam nesolcha sumach zeba machshavat ki la 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 lechadodi nikad nikakala b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikabela nikad lechadodi nikad nikakala b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikabela Dash melech in menucha, umitzim etova haficha, rav lakshem be'mekabacha, lehoyach mon alayik nigra la 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 lechadodi nikad nikakala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikabela, nikad lechadodi nikad nikakala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Shalom, ater para, gam b'simcha u'b'tzora, tov nevaneh b'segula, boi kala, boi kala.
We welcome each other.
Nikad nikadodi, nikad nikakala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat nikabela, nikad nikadodi, nikad nikakala.
We remain standing, and let's turn to the page 145. This seems to be a prayer for today. The Teach Me, O God. We'll read that together. Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise. At each morning and night you renew your days. Lest my day be today as the one before. Less routine set my ways. I was thinking about watching all the people out in the beautiful weather, 70 degrees here in what is it? We're still in March, right? Page 146, our call of community.
La 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 la
Let's read together in the Hebrew on 148. It's transliterated there on the side as well. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro mariv aravim b'chochma poteach sharim uvutuna mishaneh itim umechalif et azmanim umesader et hakokavim b'mishmeretayim berkia kirtzono. Borea yom lalayla golel or mipnei choshek v'choshek mipnei or umavir yom umevi laila umavdil ben yom uben laila Adonai tzvaot shemo echai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravi. Page 152, the Shema.
Shema Yisrael.
You may be seated. We continue with the V'ahavta on the next page, 154.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha v'b'chol nafshecha v'b'chol me'atecha v'hayu advarim ha'ele asher Hadokim b'tzavcha hayom alevavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibartam bam v'shivtecha v'vetzecha v'velevtecha v'aterech v'v'shochbecha v'v'kunecha v'kshartam leot hayadecha v'hayu letotavot b'neinecha וכתבתם המזוזות בידיך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר
from that pivotal prayer, the Shema, where we speak of unity, to the joyous crossing of the sea on page 158, where we celebrate coming through adversity together, just like Bruce was saying, our 5-year anniversary of surviving kind of the COVID pandemic. Nice. I invite you to rise if you're able for our silent Amid, our silent standing prayer. It begins on page 164 through page 180. Whenever you're ready, you may be seated. Take this time for your own private thoughts and prayers. We're going to look in our leaflet now. We have some songs prepared, the Purim game. You'll see a little insert like this. Oh, wow. Look, Juliana did such a beautiful job with that. So I think
She
it's
says that's one of her favorite things to do is make those little song inserts. She loves to do that.
It's so colorful. She really did it with quite a flair. So it's the Purim game. It's the colorful one.
So the Purim game has a chorus, which we can all sing. And then it has 5 verses where you have to guess the character that I'm like imitating or talking about or describing, all right? And you get a chance, I'm going to pause, and you get a chance to yell out the Purim character when you have decided exactly who this is I'm talking about. It is set to a beautiful, beautiful melody from the old country called Tumbalalaika. Who knows Tumbalalaika? Raise your hand if you know have heard. Beautiful melody from Eastern Europe, the olden days. So, here we go. Thank you. Here we go. Play with me, dance with me, join in my song. Clap with me, tap with me, sing it along. Purim is here with games and fun. Just guess my name as soon as I'm done. I come from Persia to join in this game. People have trouble pronouncing my name. I have a crown, a scepter, a ring. My name is Achashverosh the king. Here we go. Play with me, dance with me, join in my song. Clap with me, tap with me, sing it along. Purim is here with games and fun. Just guess my name as soon as I'm done. Long ago I helped the queen bring us glory. I am the hero of the Purim story. For my belief, I was ready to die. You all know my name. It's
Mordechai.
Mordecai. Yeah, everybody got it. Here we go, everyone. Play with me, dance with me, join in my song. Clap with me, tap with me, sing it along. Purim is here with games and fun. Just guess my name as soon as I'm done. People would bow down when I'd walk about. Now they use groggers to drown my name out. Others they cheer and cry out, hooray man! My name they boo because it's
Amen.
Amen. Here we go, everyone. Play with me, dance with me, join in my song. Clap with me, tap with me, sing it along. Purim is here with games and fun. Just guess my name as soon as I'm done. I am a figure in the Purim story. The king demanded I parade in all my glory. I'm an independent, a woman of means. Can you guess my name? I'm
Be the queen.
Yeah, you got it. Vashi the queen out in television land. Play with me,
Dance with me, join in my song.
Clap with me, tap with me, sing it along. Purim is here with games and fun. Just guess my name as soon as I'm done. Here I am, last but not least, as they say. Without me, there would just be no holiday. I saved our people from Haman so mean. By now you have guessed I'm
Esther the queen.
Here we go. Last time, everyone. Play with me, dance with me, join in my song. Clap with me, tap with me, sing it along. Purim is here with games and fun. Just guess my name as soon as I'm done.
Wow,
Can I
I
tell
love.
you a story about this song?
No, go tell the story.
When I was just a little kid, I used to go to religious school. But the rooms weren't always used just for the children. They would use it on other times for when the adults would gather, and sometimes they would leave papers around. So when I was maybe about 8 years old, whatever, I went into a classroom getting ready for my religious school, my Hebrew school we used to call it, education, and I saw like little sheets of paper. And it was like songs that they were singing, preparing for something, I don't know what, or just getting together to sing in a chavurah. And I said, I'm going to take these home and I'm going to save these things.
Oh my gosh.
Because one day I'm going to sing with people and I'm going to need these songs. and they were mimeographs. Remember the day of mimeographs when they were purplish and all of that? And this is one of the songs that I found on a desk, and I saved it like years and years and years until I was like in cantorial school or whatever. And I said, where are those pieces of paper that I've been saving my whole life? And I found them.
That's crazy. So you kind of knew.
I don't even know if I'm the only person in the world that sings this now, because it was something that somebody might have written for the occasion or something. I've never heard anybody else sing it. Have you, Harvey? No.
Yeah, you know, it's amazing. You had like a vision of maybe what you do one day. That's amazing. You hear that at times about kids and their lives.
Yeah,
you know,
I said, I'm going to need this one day.
Had that sense, yeah.
Really?
Now, there is a character missing. Zeresh.
Zeresh.
We need to do next year. We're going to write a new rhyme for Zeresh.
Zeresh is a big deal now.
Yeah, for those of you that weren't here last night, Zeresh is Haman's wife.
So right. So will you write?
I will.
For Zeresh?
Yeah. Yeah. It's good. Give me a copy of it so I can see the rhyme of it.
Okay.
And then we'll do it. Yeah. And I was also thinking, I listened to Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, and they have limericks in it. Mm-hmm. And the tricky thing, I'd hate to be a participant. So it's like a call-in person.
You have to look brilliant in front of a
and you
million
have to
people.
pay attention to the rhyme. So this is the same kind of thing. If you could hear the rhyme, they trick you in this one because it's Vashti the queen, Esther the queen. So it's a little trick. And I even got Harvey because it said the hero of the story. I think, right? You were thinking of Esther. Yeah.
Well, then when you get to, for my belief, I was ready to die.
Yeah, but as soon as you put but it's so hard sometimes to come up with it. But wonderful.
Well, I hope I did trick some of you. Did I keep you on your toes?
No, they did very well. I'd be terrible at Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. I'm never calling there. Okay, we all have to know our strengths. Okay, we're going to turn to our healing blessing, page 371. That's what I was looking for, our healing prayer. There we go. All right, as a community, we are thinking about Gail Ackerholt, Neil Agnita, Paula Ames, Hope Bongiorno, Samuel Block, Sandy Canty, Evan Dennis, Chris Donner, Andy Glickman, who had successful surgery this week, Lauren Goldhirsch, Mira Grosser, Suzanne Lefcourt Harris, Karen Hauser, Pam Huber, Kenny Jackson, Alex Katz, Granger Hugh Kelly, Marilyn Rinsberg, who had also had surgery and is doing well, and her family, Tony and Maddie, who had their house burned down in the fires in California, in LA, Jill Kalaga, Gail Lewis, Joe Morris, Candace Mai, Pamela Nigut, Bill Osteroff, Jeff Pratt, Tamara Rettino, Stephen Rice, Sarah Korn Rothschild, Ernie Sepatelli, Remy Schoenwetter, Andrew Sutherland, Tracy Thale, Enjo Tufts, Jen Ursaner, Marla Vagarozzi, Judy Van Horn, Celeste Zacharist, Gail Zaretsky, Carla Bat-Chana Yosef Ben Zissel, Hanezra Ben Shul, Brina Chaya Bat Sipora, and Risha Bat Sipora. So we'll go around, and if you have other names you'd like to offer.
Aaron Blaze and Aaron Hamilton. Megan Nowicki and Faith Dwyer. Robert Lewis. Amy Whitman. Janet Taylor. Jochen Danish, Lou Lombardi, and Marriage Cookie. Sandy Goldberg.
Dr. Levi Tsulamid and Sheldon Cohen.
Baby Boy Hyman. Sheila Chato and Benjamin McMahon. John Anderson.
we're going to bring all those names into our hearts as we sing the Misha Berach on page 371. Now, this one we do often, so now that you know this one.
And he loves it.
Oh, good, yeah. Debbie Friedman, it's beautiful.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. That's those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
A complete healing of body and soul. May our prayers go out to where they're needed. May they comfort those in our room, and wherever they're needed, may the person feel less alone and find the healing that they need in this world, whether by spirit or by body. We say Amen. So I want to say Chag Sameach. We're still in Purim. It's like the very, very end of it.
Oh, the very end.
Now, when we were taking the picture for Purim, it was the first time we had to avoid the sun. We've never had that as a problem, taking pictures in here.
No.
So first, I want to thank our cantor. She worked so very hard and is still standing today. I don't actually know how.
Thank you. There's a lot of people involved.
Yeah.
Everybody pulled their weight.
It was her original vision to be able to try Wicked. We look way far before it went into the movie form. Now, obviously, a popular play, but she forecast that this might be a good thing, and it all worked together. I was amazed because I know how complicated the script was. When I wrote it, I was groaning. I said, "Oh my God, what am I getting them into?"
And the music.
And the music scared me.
It's scary.
Yeah. When you go, I got to see it with the original cast, actually. Right when I met Ashira, our first Valentine's Day. We never do anything on Valentine's Day, but on the first one, I thought, well, she was living in Boston, and I was in Philadelphia. I thought, well, I'll surprise her. We'll buy tickets to Wicked. So we bought the tickets, the old style. They send it in the mail. And we went off and saw it in the theater. And, but you don't realize how hard it is until you actually start listening to it. And I was like, oh gosh, this is something. If you were part of the play, I think we have a number of our players here. Just raise your hand. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for giving up your Sundays especially. That was quite a lot of rehearsals to getting ready. We also have our costume designer here as well, one of the costume designers. So Purim is such an important time here in Congregation Shir Shalom. We actually have 2 decades or more of this very large performances. And actually, it was in my interview, before I even came to Buffalo to interview, they sent me the video, or the DVD. It was a DVD of the past year's Purim performance, which I think was maybe Fiddler on the Roof. And so that was like an essential part of the community. And I have learned over the years how important it is. It's wonderful the way it brings people together, both on the night, but also just it creates a little family. When you're part of a play, like a spiel group, you become like family with one another, and it's like such a wonderful way. We've had many, many people over the years who participated. I don't know, I think Robin and Al, you've been in a long time. I don't know, Adrian? Yeah, so you might even know when the original, or whatever. The Beatles was the first one, huh?
And then it was 5 or 6 was the first one. She wanted to be in it, and she was told she had to be 8.
So we can do, her daughter just turned 29, so that's 24 years ago. We have a rough forecast of the thing. So Purim is such a wonderful holiday, and I loved coming into a community that goes full force for it, because when I was growing up, like so many people, it was really, you would read the Megillah, and there would be a children's parade. And it was fun, and I got to read the Megillah when I was little, actually, after I became a bar mitzvah. But it wasn't especially meaningful. It wasn't like I had seen it in other places. And I have seen how Purim works in rabbinical school. We used to have wonderful Purims in Israel and New York. And these are very much adult themed. You know, the Purims in America tend to be kids. I actually learned from Rabbi Shlomo this week. He was teaching us. It's very cool. Rabbi Shlomo Schechter, who's over at Or Tzion, he was my camper back when I was still in, I was just in maybe a first or second year in college, I think. So he was, in, 12, something like that. And now he got to teach me. It's such a wonderful thing. But he said in Israel, there's an expression that Purim is for the adults in Israel, and Passover is for the kids. And in America, it's the opposite. Purim is for the kids, and Passover is for the adults. So interesting, just in terms of the approach. But Purim,
One of the ones that I went to when I was a student, I was studying with a teacher that lived locally, and she said, "Why don't you come to my synagogue for a Purim show?" And I came, and it was all adults. There was no children allowed. It was bawdy, it was like a big night out for everybody. It was like, cocktails served and everything, and it was a riot. And I laughed and laughed and laughed. And,
you snuck in, you mean?
What?
Were you a kid then?
No, I mean, when I was a student, when I was
okay.
a cantorial student.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I was a cantorial student. And, it was a fantastic experience.
It's so much fun, and especially
Probably the
rabbinic.
religious school, they put on a little something for the kids, but this was a big deal.
Yeah, it's actually quite a serious holiday, and it's been very meaningful for me the last 2 Purims, because often we would have all these spiels, and they would sort of dance around the seriousness of it, and there's a lot of parts that are uncomfortable when you're actually reading the story. There's a mini genocide at the end of it. There's the whole way Esther is treated, the harem, that's part of it. There's a lot of parts that are not very nice at all, that are very, as Shlomo taught, very, very adult. And usually in our spiels, we've kind of stayed away. We'd pretend about the beauty contest, maybe we'd make it into something else that's a little bit more palpable. But the last 2 years, with the Barbie movie and with Wicked, we were able to actually look deeper. I hope you've noticed it was different. For me, it was a joy just to even try to write about it, because it enabled us for Barbie to look at what feminism, because just like the Barbie doll, what Esther represents in terms of feminism is different than feminism today, and has changed. And sometimes, just like with Barbie, there's these strong reactions. And we actually got to look at it. My favorite part, and it was that we came to Shir Shalom, and my favorite part is that Barbie, or Esther, came and confronted me about our synagogue's legacy. And I felt that was, I included myself so that we could actually have a dialogue about how, while we had the first female cantor, we still have never had a female rabbi in our history. A lot of those kind of things. And Wicked, similarly, I always am very uncomfortable with booing Haman. I feel like it's, we're creating kind of like a mob mentality. So the wicked story allows you to go underneath and ask those kind of questions. And to see at the very end, it was very touching to me to have when Aster playing Haman and Kim Goldhirsch playing Mordechai, when they sang just for good together and kind of made up, even though Haman was going to go and Zeresh were going to go to the gallows. Actually, Mike Frisch, he wanted to play on that part. You might have noticed he was kind of playing how that's really what the texts are demanding of it. That's what the rabbis tell us to do, is to go deeper into these texts and not look at them at the surface level. Like we're supposed to, it says to be drunk, so you can't tell the difference between the blessing of Mordechai and the curse of Haman. But another way to take that is if you read the story, the characters are much more complicated than they are on the surface. That Mordechai maybe was a little self-righteous in that. I know this is very sacrilegious. And Esther didn't have necessarily a strong identity. And Haman and Zeresh, they were the only family. It's the only time that a family is included. It was that couple. It's very very interesting in that way. So it was so meaningful to me. I don't know if we'll ever be able to go that deep into the story. I'm kind of missing it already, actually. But Purim is about things being turned upside down. That the story at two different moments switches around very rapidly. It's it starts with a party, and then within a very short amount of time, Haman is calling out the Jews, using the king's signet to demand that the death of all the Jews. So suddenly, from nothing came this terrible despair. And likewise, through Esther's actions, creating the party and flipping the script, everything is turned around. And it's some ways random. That's why it's called Purim, I think. You're just picking lots, pores. You're picking lots. So it's very random about what happened. And a lot of times in life, as Maimonides tells us, most things in life are accidental. We have to just deal with the vagaries of what's coming. I was telling our kids about the musical Six, how it probably would have been a lot bigger musical, but it came out right at the beginning of COVID. And all the plans, that was it. It wasn't going to make it. Bruce was saying this is the 5-year anniversary of COVID. We came right after Purim. It was the Thursday, Friday right before we were making all the decisions, and that Friday after Purim, was the one we shut down and had just, Paul Staley and Cantor and I and Bruce, I think, in the room. That was it. And it happened that quickly. That's how quickly. It can go from good to bad. In our Torah portion, we have a similar turn this week. We have Ki Tisa, which is the golden calf. And the golden calf, it's this moment, they just received the 10 Commandments, the highest moment of the Torah. Literally, the highest. They're on Mount Sinai. Moses on Mount Sinai, receiving the 10 Commandments, the most glorious moment, probably in his life. He's directly communing with God. Finds the golden calf as an idol. And there's a wonderful moment that I just wanted to read to you. When Moses comes down, I know it might be familiar to you, that he says, he sees Joshua. God says, you better hurry up, the people are misbehaving. So he sees Joshua, he's rushing down, and Joshua says to Moses, there is a cry of war in the camp. Right? So he's getting ready for, a revolution that's happening. He thinks that he doesn't know what exactly has happened. He's way too far away. All he knows is something bad is happening. He's assuming they're trying to kill each other. So he goes down and he says, it is not the sound of the tune of triumph or the sound of the tune of defeat. In other words, I don't hear a battle. It is the sound of song that I hear. It's this beautiful moment because he's so confused. He's expecting to hear the people killing each other, one group triumphing over another group. So there's cheers, and then there's destruction, all these kind of things. And he hears song. It's the strangest thing. And suddenly, everything just crashes. He literally breaks the commandments. Everything changes. And both of these moments, as Rabbi Shlomo also taught me, we almost always read, except for on a leap year, the golden calf at the same time. So both of these moments show just how quickly we know this. We had 2 fairly sudden deaths in the last week. As a clergy, this is the scariest and the thing in all of our lives that we were afraid of. And when we're here with the whole community, it happens. And it's a terrible thing with no preparation, really. These things can turn around so quickly. And you never know. It's about preparing ourselves for both the happy and the sad. And when these coins flip, like in COVID, Bruce described this so beautifully, we all kind of gathered together. We rallied. We came together. We were on top of the transit drive-in, and we got to, be together in that beautiful way. And it really brought us closer together. I wanted to talk a little tonight about the times when it isn't like that, where the world flips and some of us are on one side of the coin and others are on the other side of the coin. This for me is the hardest road. That's where we are especially in the American political landscape. Everything flips, and we have a mixed community with different voices, and people here literally are experiencing different moments at the same exact time. It's the coin flip, and all of us are not experiencing it the same way in society. These kind of flips don't always result in that. So several congregants, I hadn't really addressed anything about the political situation. So I want to address kind of my approach to it tonight, and we'll see how it unfolds. This is actually, I submitted an article that I think will come out next week in a national Jewish press. So this is really kind of an approach, because I notice people aren't talking about it all. And I think it is important to at least put the elephant in the room, even if it's uncomfortable. So as we think about what to do, I came up with a list of practical ways to respond, especially for Jewish leadership in this moment. So number 1, what can we say? I learned this from Reverend Todd Leach at Westminster. Stick to our values. We are allowed in a sanctuary to talk about what matters to us because it sticks to what we believe in. We believe in taking care of the stranger, for example. We're allowed to be there for Jewish Family Service, our biggest provider who suddenly is not able to care for the stranger. We're allowed and supposed to, in a place where there are not going to be people acting like human beings, like mensches, we're allowed to be menschlichkeit. We're commanded to. So taking, I think, first from our values and making sure always to stick to our values. Second, what we're saying, try to tie it always to tradition. We have the golden calf, we have Purim, all of these things. These are thousands of years of stories about resilience and facing. What we're facing now may feel very new to us, but of course, over time, we face similar things at different times, and it always ties into these stories. So we are allowed to go and think about things based on the conversation. You've seen me kind of address issues like unity recently and Purim about evil. There are things that are deep down that we are allowed to address. Next, I think this is where I really wanted to focus, which is thinking about the personal. The things in the national politics are affecting people in our own community. And over the course of the last month, I've heard directly from members that have lost their jobs, are fearful of losing their jobs, have environmental workers who can't access the pages that they need for their work. We live on the border of Canada. Anything that affects our relationship with Canada affects us here. That is affecting us directly right here. It really is painful to me to know that crossing the border, going into Niagara Falls, I want that to be a joyous thing. I love our neighbors over there. Every year I go to Holloway Memorial Chapel right across the border to lead a service. I don't know if I'll even be invited at this point. These are things that are affecting us directly. We've also had several people come to our community from red states fleeing. We've had a wedding here a couple of weeks ago because the people they weren't comfortable as a gay couple to get married in the place that even though it was a very welcoming community they were in. Next, and this is something I learned from my friend Rabbi Sharon Brous, who taught in her book, The Amen Effect, that there are 3 roles that we can take in these moments. We can play the hero. We can be the Esther and the Mordecai and say we know what to do. We can be the victim. Oh, poor me, woe is me. Or we can be a learner. I love that idea. I don't know. I have to tell you honestly, I don't know how we're going to face this together. I don't know what my role is going to be. I don't know what we're going to do. I don't think anyone does. And all I know is we are a resilient community. We have adapted many times before. We will figure it out together. I don't know. I know in our topsy-turvy world where people are experiencing this moment differently, we will find a way to be there for each other in a way that is not chasing. We do not want to chase people out the door. That is not our purpose here. Lastly, I said, our 503Cs are things that keep us safe. This is what our Barry Radlin is always instructing, because it is very important to know that our synagogue is an apolitical organization. It's very important that because of our nonprofit status, we have to be mindful, but not to see that as a burden for ourselves. That is something that's really important. So, Israeli poet Yehuda Amichai once said, "The place where we are right, from the place we are right, no flowers grow." And I always think about that. If we think that we know exactly what to do or how to behave, or that everyone on the other side is wrong, or everything is, we will not create the world. We will not have flowers in our world. We'll not be the people we want. So we're going to have to find our way through this upside down world where not all of us are experiencing it the same way, and find our way to have some kind of common voice together. So this is my first salvo at this. We will try this again. You're my test audience. And continue to try to do this. And if you have ideas, please share them with me, because I don't know. I definitely don't have the answers yet. Well, maybe after services, please have a dialogue with me. If you have anything you'd like to share, or if you have any ideas about how we can address this better as a community as well. May we find a time where we can be unified and where we can be together, so that we can face the things we need to face, and we can do so because life is too precious. It can flip on a dime. And, that's what Purim teaches us, and we should just celebrate and be present and be happy that we are just alive and here on a beautiful day in Western New York, 70 degrees, despite all the noise in the outside world and the craziness that follows us inside. We say Amen. Amen. All right, so I think we're going to go towards Elena now.
Yeah.
Is that all right? I invite you to rise, 586. משפחות האדמה שלא שם חלקנו כהם וגורלנו ככל עוונם ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים Page 591. You may be seated. We're going to turn to the Mourner's Kaddish. We had a sudden passing, as I mentioned. Michelle Polanski. She died suddenly in Aruba, and our thoughts and prayers are with her family. I don't have any more details other than it's going to be at least a week before we have any kind of memorial, but we'll keep you posted. She was a beloved member, and we also lost Max Sloan quite suddenly as well. Our thoughts are with his family, with Liz and Jessica and Josh and the whole family. On our Shloshim list from the past month, we are remembering Lorraine Medwin, Karen Nyman, Wilma Eggers, Linda Frenchell, and Susan Solomon. On our yahrzeit list from years past, we remember Hannah Adler, Aaron Baker, Harold Bast, Ray Biter, Julius Berger, William Berger, Joseph Bank, Maury Bookbinder, Shirley Braun, Erwin Bronstein, Alvin David Cantor, Glorine Curtis, Betty Eisen, Maxwell Ellis, Aaron Fine, Herb Foster, Sylvia Friedferdig, Gertrude Heskins Gilmore, Morris Glazer, Joseph Goldberg, Francis Cohn Goldman, Sylvia Grossman, Jack Hersbrunn, Geraldine Horowitz, Arthur Jad, Theodore Kaplan, Aaron Klein, Judy Klipstein, Marvin Kranitz, Rose Kutzman Kushner, Carolyn Landau, Sarah Levo, Marjorie Longberg, Ann Maranka, Frank Massimo, Carol Lashansky, Evelyn Perlmutter, Julius Peck, Claire Picker, Henry Pohl, Judith Polikoff, Susan Priver, Jean Ryan, Rita Rubin, Jack Sachs, Lena Schatzberg, Maddie Schoenfeld, Helen Schultz, Pamela Shunk, Marvin P. Seller, Rose Simon, Bertha Strauss, Louis Tansky, Arnold Tarner, Madeline Truhaft, Lillian Ungerleder, Pessa Leah Weiss, Isaac Wertheim, Ruth Weiner, Thelma G. Weissman, and Joseph Wool. Are there any other names we should mention? The Mourner's Kaddish is on page 598. Those whose custom it is to rise, please rise. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, b'alma divrach eretei v'yamlik malchutei, b'chayachon v'yomachon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, b'agolav v'zman kariv yimru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah v'varach le'olam olmei olmaya. Yitparak, v'yishtabak, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitramam, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitalev, v'yitalal, shemei dekudasha, b'rechu, le'la min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, damiran b'alma v'yimru, amen. Yehi shlam rabba min shemaya, v'chayim alena v'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru amen. O says shalom v'yimramav, huya says shalom, Alena v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol Yishvei Tevel, v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all the world, and we say amen. You may be seated. Zikronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. And I'd like to invite Bruce up to offer the announcements. He's already pre-warned us that there are a lot of things coming up. And I have another announcement here, too.
Oh, see, you're taking away that's your time, not my time. Shabbat Shalom again, everyone. Thank you to our service greeters tonight, Diane Gordon and Mark Nightinger. Thank you, of course, to Rabbi Alex Cantor-Frank and our new accompanist, Sean Poland. You know, the piano takes on a different sound with different people
Isn't it
playing.
amazing?
Some nights it's a little more somber, some nights it's a little more uplifting. It was exuberant tonight. It really was. Welcome to our congregation. Thank you to everyone who participated in last night's Purim Spiel. It was a hoot. We all had a good time, those of us in the cast. Thank you to everyone who came. Now we settle down a little bit. And then we have things like Passover coming up and other stuff. But we made it through. And you're here tonight. I figured you'd be off somewhere like, you know, like on a...
She was going again.
I figured you'd be like on a beach with umbrella drinks tonight.
I've done that in the past. I don't know why I didn't plan it this time.
Well, we're glad you're here. No offense to you, Harvey, but we're glad the Cantor's here tonight. Tomorrow morning, Torah study is at 9 a.m. at Temple Beth Tzedek, also via their Zoom. Shabbat morning service and Kiddush luncheon is at 10:45 at Temple Beth Tzedek. Community Religious School will meet Sunday morning at 9, and our confirmation class will be meeting Sunday morning at 11:30. I'm so excited that we brought back confirmation class. We've been talking about that for a very long time, and I'm glad you did that. So our class is meeting Sunday morning at 11:30. Also Sunday morning, we are having our rescheduled men's group meeting with Craig Small and David Cohen to talk about CPR and saving lives at a time when you never know. As you know, Craig Small was at the Rolling Stones concert and someone near him was in distress, and he gave CPR that he had learned here at Temple from Dr. Iris Danziger. And David Cohen was at a Philharmonic concert when he fell and hit his head. And he was administered CPR and it saved his life. So, as Rabbi mentioned, you know, these moments are fleeting. And it should be a really interesting talk. And Craig is sponsoring the breakfast. He's planning to serve all sorts of things that are bad for your heart. I don't know what, but anyway, so that's Sunday morning at, I believe we're gathering at 9 and the talk begins at 9:30. Next Friday night, we have one of our special services. It is a Scout Shabbat, and it is also a family service. We have the Scouts here once a year, and it's always a wonderful service. That means since it's also family service, it's a half hour earlier, so the service is at 6:30, and that would be next Friday night. The following Friday night, March 28th, after services, we'll be having a get-together to learn more about the Philadelphia trip coming up this summer, July 10th. Rabbi and Ed Fine have been putting this together. Cheesesteak place in all of Philadelphia, and do other things as well. April is going to be a busy month for us. April is Earth Month at the Temple. We will have guest speakers at 3 Erev Shabbat services. It is also Earth Day on April 27th, and we'll be having an event that day with environmental and community organizations, kids and adult activities, and a non-denominational service honoring the Earth. We're still looking for some volunteers to help out. Talk to Joanne or Joe Morris if you'd like to know more about that. All this month, as we are now halfway through March, the Tikkun Olam Committee is collecting for Ronald McDonald House. There was an email that went out with very specific items that they are looking for, but that will go through the end of March. The Women of Shir Shalom discussion group is going to meet April 7th to discuss Miriam from the book Biblical Women Speak by Rabbi Marla Feldman. Jill is here in the service tonight if you'd like to know more information about that, and there are emails going out about that. Also, the Women of Shir Shalom will be having long-range planning here, their Shabbat, May 16th, which is again one of our special services of the year. So talk to Jill about that afterward. The rabbi is very busy doing all sorts of stuff, and his Resetting the Table returns on Sunday, March 23rd. That's at 1 o'clock p.m., Spot Coffee on Transit Road in Williamsville. Rabbi Alex and Pastor Eric Farley from the Fieldstone Church will be leading that discussion. It will be a frank and open conversation, and everyone is welcome to take part. Rabbi mentioned earlier the voting for the World Zionist Congress started March 10th, and this is a very important time for us. As you know, the Orthodox have kind of taken over, and they have a lot more people to vote than we do. So please take part in that. There are flyers outside. What did you say? Number 3 is reform and number 16 is reconstructionist. So choose one of them, please. Also in April, Sunday, April 13th, is our second night. I told you, Passover is right around the corner. Is our second night Seder. This will be conducted by the 2 people behind me, and it catered by Bloom and Rose. There are reservation forms located outside the sanctuary. Then, to wrap up April, to wrap it all up, we're having a murder mystery dinner theater on April 26th, Saturday night, performed by Western New York Improv. The evening will include an Italian buffet, wine, beer, and dessert. We're taking reservations now. They are $42 each. I'm told that the murder victim is someone who told bad jokes. So, for what that's worth. If you need anything, please feel free to reach out to Rabbi Alex, Cantor, Frank, Todd, hi Todd, Joanne, or myself. We are, of course, always here for you. Please join us for the Oneg. Even though it is 3:14, Joanne forgot to order a pie for the Oneg. So we'll have lots of hamantashen. Do you want to talk about the comedy night at Buff State at all?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
So I had three announcements actually. So there is an iftar dinner that I'm at the Ahmadiyya Society. It's tomorrow at 6. So if you're interested, Robin and Alan, I'll be there, and we're speaking about justice through compassion. So this is one of the nights of Ramadan. I have these flyers for you. Cantor's also going to be part of a stained glass concert over at Temple Beth Zion. That's on the 23rd downtown on Delaware. At 3 o'clock, right? 3 o'clock on the 23rd. It'll feature many different singers through the area, including Mark Horowitz and Cantor Mark Spindler, as well as Samantha Stevens. Yeah. So that'll be really, and Cantor Susie from Cantor Susie from TBZ. We also are going to Modi on the 27th. I think there's 41 of us going from Shir Shalom. I'm not sure. You can probably still get tickets, but I don't know. That's on the 27th. Modi is my son, my 15-year-old's listening to him, so 14-year-old, sorry. All right, we are ready for our end. Do you have another announcements? We had so many. My head is literally spinning with announcements. Okay, so this is in the leaflet again. We have on the other side of that beautiful little insert that Emily prepared, we have, and this is a really, really nice one, Wicked, Wicked Man. Julianne, what did I say? Emily. I always want to call her Emily. I don't know why. But we used to have a secretary, Emily. Yeah. That was a long time ago.
Once there was a wicked, wicked man, and Haman was his name, sir. He lied and lied about the Jews, though they were not to blame, sir. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. And not some home in Toshin. And Esther was the lovely queen of King Ahasuerus. When Haman said he'd kill us all, oh my, how he did scare us. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be.
And not some home.
Here we go. But Mordecai, her cousin bold, said, what a dreadful knave, sir. Our Esther is a clever queen. Her people she will save, sir.
Oh, today will Mary, Mary be.
Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. And now some lamentation. When Esther's speaking to the king of Haman's plots, made mention. Aha, said her, oh no, he won't. I'll
Oh, today will
merry, merry be. Oh, today will merry, merry be. Oh, today will merry, merry be. And now some home in Tashin. The Bible tells how God destroyed all Haman's plans so clever, and God preserved the Jews that day, as God has done forever. Oh, today will merry, merry be. Oh, today will merry, merry be. Oh, today will merry, merry be. And not some home in Tashin. Now, before you say that, Sean has played this song in another place, and it has nothing to do with Judaism. Will you just tell us where you played this song?
So,
The exact same song, by the way.
this, with different words, is very often used at Renaissance fairs. And it's a very happy, fairly body towards the later verses, drinking song called Landlord Fill the Filling Bowl.
It's so funny how melodies migrate, right? All right, it's not a hamantashen, but we do have a challah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min ha'aretz